Hi Anna, we've now got to the point where you've pulled out 4 topics, I think, from the many you've been harvesting over on that board. What are the topics that people are going to be working on?
So we chose 4 ideas, and the first one very much reflected the recent snowy weather and the fact that London doesn't seem to be able to deal with that. So the first one was how can we get residents to help the council grit drives and make the roads more accessible for people during bad weather. The second one was how can we get local people to adopt an older person to help with their with delivering food or helping them out around the house. The third one was how can we use resident knowledge about where roads are safe or dangerous or where the best place to cross is to change the way transport planning works, specifically around how you map where local residents might think they need a pedestrian crossing. And then the fourth one was an interesting one around how there's lots of underused public assets, and that might be it might be plots of land, it might be park space, or it might also be kind of empty and unused buildings at the moment. So how can you get people to plot where that unused land and space is, those underused public assets, and then find new uses for that space? So those were our 4 ideas. We've now got everyone working in groups, depending on what idea they were most interested in. And we've asked them to think about all the things that we normally ask people to think about in a social innovation camp weekend, except rather than have about 48 hours to do that, they've got about 25 minutes.
And you've given them some prompts up here, just running through those.
So first of all, we ask people to think about the problem that they're trying to solve. So to really understand what the issue is that they're tackling and make sure that what they've identified as the problem is actually the problem rather than just a symptom of something else. And then the second thing is all about the solutions. So what technology are they going to use to solve that problem? It might be an app, it might be a Google map, it might be a new website, it might be a texting service, it could be anything. Thirdly, we've asked them to think about how they'd sustain their idea. So is this a business they're creating? Is it something that's going to become part of what the local council does? Is it a voluntary group? And then fourth, how will you get people to use your idea? So this, none of this stuff is any good unless you get people using it. So who can you think of a group of people that you might pilot this idea with first? Have you thought about kind of accessibility issues and making sure you're not kind of creating an iPhone app targeted at people who don't have iPhones, that kind of stuff? And then finally, we ask everyone to think of a good name.
So, gosh, business and development plan plus branding, all in half an hour.
Everything.